Bob is John List.
I do not believe this is the same man.
Tonight on America's Most Wanted.
November 9th, 1971. A grand mansion in Westfield, New Jersey. Inside, the lights are on. Classical music is playing softly through the intercom system. The air conditioning is hummed to life. From the outside, it looks like a peaceful evening. But inside, time has stopped. 5 people are dead. A mother, a wife, and 3 children. They aren't just killed, they are arranged. And the man who did it, the father, the Sunday school teacher, the accountant, has just walked out the front door and stepped into thin air. For nearly 2 decades, John List didn't just run, he became someone else. He lived a life of church socials, new marriages, and quiet dinners, while his family lay in a cold, dark house. This is the story of John List, the man who almost committed the perfect disappearance and the piece of clay that finally caught him.
He is a man who could coldly, calculatingly, and cunningly conceive and carry out a cowardly plan to assassinate each of his 3 children.
John List is accused of murdering his family 17 years ago.
Am I out of my mind, or does that look like Bob?
John List was a man of routine. He was precise. He was an accountant. And when his financial world began to crumble, he applied that same cold mathematical precision to his family. He didn't want them to suffer the shame of poverty, so he decided to save their souls. He killed his wife and mother first. Then he waited for his children to come home from school. He even made himself lunch between the murders. Here is the viral nugget that makes skin crawl. After the killings, List didn't panic. He cleaned up, he cut his own face out of every single family photograph in the house so the police wouldn't have a picture to use for a manhunt. He turned the thermostat down to 60 degrees to preserve the bodies, turned on the radio to a religious station, and simply left. The bodies weren't found for 1 month. By then, John List was a ghost. Imagine 18 years passing. The 70s turn into the 80s. The world moves on.
What's your name?
Clark, Robert P. Clark.
Bob, okay. Ramon, will you get Bob a jacket, please, and wash your hands, all right?
Yes, I will, absolutely.
In Denver, Colorado, and later in Virginia, a man named Robert or Bob Clark is living the American dream. He's an accountant, he's a devout churchgoer, he's married to a woman who thinks he's a shy, slightly boring, but kind man. Bob Clark doesn't have a past. He doesn't have old friends. He's a man who was born at age 46. To the FBI, the John List file was a graveyard. No sightings, no fingerprints. Most investigators assumed he had crawled into a hole and died. But John List wasn't dead. He was just across the street. 1989. America's Most Wanted wants to run the story, but they have a problem. They only have 18-year-old photos of List. How do you find a man who has aged nearly 2 decades? They call in Frank Bender, a forensic sculptor. This is the viral key to the whole story. Bender didn't just age the face, he did a psychological profile in clay. He figured List would still wear the same style of glasses to look professional. He figured List's jowls would sag because of his rigid, stressful personality. He sculpted a bust of what List should look like. It was a masterpiece of forensic intuition. When the episode aired on May 21st, 1989, 22 million people were watching. One of them was a woman in Virginia. She looked at the TV, then she thought about her neighbor, Bob Clark. She thought about his glasses. She thought about the way he walked. She called the tip line. When the FBI arrived at Bob Clark's door, they didn't find a monster. They found a man in a cardigan. He denied everything. He insisted he was Bob Clark.
Are you John List? And he says, no, I'm Robert P. Clark.
But the FBI had something he couldn't delete with a pair of scissors: his fingerprints. When the match came back, the mask finally fell. The accountant of death had been caught. In 1990, John List stood in an NJ courtroom blocks away from the mansion he turned into a tomb. He tried to claim he was saving his family. The judge didn't buy it. calling him a man of monumental selfishness.
John Emil List will be eternally synonymous with concepts of selfishness, horror, and evil.
List spent the rest of his life in prison, dying in 2008. He had 27 years of freedom, but he spent every single one of them looking over his shoulder. The John List case is a terrifying reminder that you can change your name, your face, and your city.
Robert P. Clark. I'm Robert P. Clark.
But you can never change the truth.
Am I out of my mind, or does that look like Bob?
Eventually, the world catches up, and sometimes it's a piece of clay and a neighbor's gut feeling that brings the house down. Would you have suspected the quiet accountant next door? Or do we all have neighbors with secrets we can't imagine? Let's talk about the bystander effect in the comments. Hit subscribe to see more monsters who tried to hide in plain sight. Thanks for watching.